테이프에 담긴 외계인 이식 물질을 제거하는 수술 장면. 발견된 비행 물체의 파편. 부재 위치 등은 특별한 사람들이 이룬 성과물이다.
I have seen an overwhelming amount of physical evidence.
I'm absolutely convinced that UFOs are real.
진실이 저 너머에 있다고 믿는 이 엑스파이터들은 과학소설이 실제로는 과학적인 사실일 수도 있음을 밝혀내는 걸 목표로 삼는다. 이들이 바로 UFO 헌터들이다. UFO 헌터들은 궁극적인 진실을 추구하고 우주에 다른 존재가 있다는 증거를 조사한다. 그리고 그들이 지구를 찾아오고 있다는 증거를 제시한다. 그런데 그에 대한 증거가 존재할까? 만약 그렇다면 UFO와 UFO 헌터를 바라보는 일반인의 시각이 변화할까? 1985년 밥 파이트는 UFO의 파편을 발견했다고 주장했다.
I was traveling from Denver to Las Vegas with a young lady named Jane. And in the high desert, if it's a bright, clear night and the stars are shining, which it was, you could see forever. I was asleep when she woke me up and asked me what this strange light was. I didn't know. So I stayed awake and we watched it. As we got closer to the light, it got bigger. We stopped the car to look at it. The light was so bright, I had to shield my eyes like this to look at it. She turned the headlights on for some reason. When she did, this thing just shot up in the air that fast. And when it got up in the sky, it connected to another light, and then this object was ejected from it. When I first saw it, it was glowing red and it just looked like a glob of something. And it was too hot to touch. My first thought was, what in the world could it possibly be? What could this be?
그는 물체가 식은 후 트렁크에 실었다. 지금 보고 있는 것이 화이트가 발견한 그 물체다.
This is what it looked like after it cooled down. The only difference is the end piece on here was rounded, and that was cut off for an analysis by Los Alamos.
약 23cm에 680g이 넘는 길쭉한 모양의 파편은 미 국립 로스앨러머스 연구소에 보내져 동위원소 비율 측정과 구성 성분 조사를 받았다. 몇 주간의 조사 끝에 화이트는 한 과학자와 얘기했다.
He was very excited about it. He said, "This is definitely extraterrestrial. It's something I've been looking for all my life." And I said, "That's wonderful." So I told newspaper columnist Mike O'Brien that. He called and talked to the same scientist. And the same scientist told him that he didn't say that. And he said, "My bosses have instructed me not to talk to anyone about this." And that was the end of the conversation.
로스앨러머스 연구소 측은 이례적인 물체에 관한 제작진의 질문에 입을 굳게 닫아버렸다. 화이트가 파편을 보낸 MIT, 스크립스 연구소 등 8개 연구소 모두 이 구조물이 주로 알루미늄으로 구성되어 있다고 결론을 내렸지만 화이트는 한 시험에서 구조물의 기원이 밝혀졌다고 믿는다.
One that I consider to be the most important was done by a scientist that was on a team of scientists that found a meteorite in Antarctica, and they found a meteorite in India. And they measured the isotopes in strontium and determined that they were from Mars. Well, the same people that did the analysis on those things did the analysis on the object that I have. And the measurement falls right in between the two from Mars.
화이트가 가진 파편과 거의 흡사한 이례적인 파편이 40여 년 전에도 발견된 바 있다. 그 얘기는 미 정부의 기밀 해제 문서에서도 확인되었다.
They have an object almost identical to this one that was recovered by the CIC the Counterintelligence Corps in the 1940s in Denmark. And their words, not mine, their words, is it's a piece of a flying saucer.
2004년 파이트는 자신의 주장을 입증하기 위해 거짓말 탐지 조사 전문가들이 실시한 거짓말 탐지 시험을 3차례 통과하였다. 허나 그의 입증 시도들은 수포로 들어갔고 그는 계속해서 돈과 시간을 소모해야만 했다.
I didn't ask for this to happen to me. I didn't need this. Didn't want it. Didn't want people to call me a UFO nut. And I didn't even believe in anything like this. But once you see it, once it happens to you, you have to be a believer.
진실을 추구하는 밥 화이트의 모습은 오늘날 UFO 헌터가 무엇인지 명백히 보여준다.
The term UFO hunter is a rather peculiar one because it covers an awful lot of ground. You can hunt sightings, you can hunt people, you can hunt documents. For me, it's a combination of those plus hunting an audience to talk to.
In the past, I've tried to focus on the government cover-up. And we'll talk about the FBI, the CIA, the Air Force.
I'm convinced that this whole question of alien visitations is the biggest story of the millennium.
프리드먼 말이 옳을지도 모른다. 시카고 대학의 핵물리학자이면서 UFO 분야에 40년 이상 몸담아온 그는 UFO 헌터들 중에서도 식견 높은 인물로 꼽힌다. 과거와 현재 UFO 헌터들은 진실에 대한 끊임없는 추구와 해답에 대한 열정으로 이어져 있다. UFO 헌터의 원조라 여겨지는 J. 앨런 하이닉 박사는 UFO는 실제하느냐는 질문을 자주 제기했다.
J. Allen Hynek is indeed the godfather of UFO research. This man had more experience, more knowledge, and more contacts in the field of UFO research than anyone, and I suspect more than anyone ever will have.
J. Allen Hynek was an astronomer with Northwestern University, and early on when Project Blue Book had been set up by the U.S. government, they had hired J. Allen Hynek as their scientific consultant.
1947년 UFO 의문들을 과학적으로 조사하기 위해 미 공군이 계획한 불북 프로젝트에서 고문을 맡은 하이닉은 처음엔 회의적이었다.
To this time, there is no proof that I would consider valid scientific proof that we have been visited by spaceships.
하지만 그는 일부 자료가 자신에게 숨겨졌다는 사실을 알게 됐다. 1968년 다코타주 미넛 공군기지에서의 UFO 목격 사례 조사가 그 한 예이다.
He was asked by the Air Force to go there and investigate the case, and when he arrived in North Dakota, he was prevented from talking with the witnesses. So it was a fact that some of the cases, the very good cases, were indeed going somewhere else.
21년 동안 정부와 일한 후에 UFO의 실제에 대한 하이닉의 의견은 변했다. 블루북 프로젝트 종료 후 하이닉은 UFO의 현상을 심도 있게 연구할 필요성을 절감했다. 이에 동감한 UFO 헌터 존 슈에슬러는 상호 UFO 네트워크, 즉 뮤폰을 설립하여 UFO 목격 사례에 대한 조사를 계속해왔다.
The Mutual UFO Network began because there was no place for people to report UFOs. We became a reporting spot.
두 사람은 UFO 단체 내에서 명성을 얻었다. 그런데 애리조나대 대기물리학연구소에서 또 다른 UFO 헌터가 등장했다. 그는 동료들의 UFO에 대한 관점을 바꿔놓기 위해 과학자란 자리를 이용했다.
Before James McDonald entered our field publicly, the scientific community was completely ignoring the UFO phenomenon. McDonald was the first prestigious scientist to openly declare his interest in this phenomenon. He startled his colleagues because scientists at that time did not go public with any interest in UFOs. It was a no-brainer, shall we say.
57년 동안 UFO 목격 사례를 연구해온 앤 드로펄은 제임스 맥도널드 박사의 개인 일지를 공개했고 그에 관한 전기인 대폭발을 저술했다.
He gave hundreds of talks to scientific groups on UFOs, and he would express in his journal that he had concentrated on the fact that the UFO phenomenon was a serious scientific problem. He was the top hunter, shall we say.
Jim McDonald, because he was so convinced that this was a major subject, managed to get congressmen to sponsor hearings back in 1968. 6 scientists testified in person, including McDonald and Hynek, and 6 more of us submitted written submissions only.
프랭크 드레이크 박사가 제임스 맥도널드가 남긴 선례를 따랐다. 코널대 천문학 교수인 드레이크는 우주 생명체 연구 분야에서 그 무엇보다 유명한 지구 밖 지적 생명체 찾기, 즉 세트 계획을 창안했다.
The SETI program looks at the issue of are there planets around other stars, and if so, then what is the easiest way for them to communicate with us?
세트는 세계적인 무선 망원경을 이용하여 우주에 지적 생명체가 보내는 전자파를 찾는다. 하버드 스미소니언 프로그램의 천체 물리학자인 루디 쉴드 박사는 세트에 약점이 있다고 믿는다.
In my view, SETI is an approach taken by people who are very smart and who think that they understand alien technology well enough to be able to exploit it and to give us direct evidence of alien civilizations. Whereas UFO hunters are people who are also smart, but doing the obvious thing that we always do when we see something we can't understand. We get out our cameras, our Geiger counters, and whatever we've got and just make observations. And I congratulate the UFO hunters because I think they're going to get there first.
(1964년 4월 24일) 뉴멕시코 소코로. 대낮에 로니 자무라 경관이 30여 미터 떨어진 곳에서 2 우주인과 다리가 4개 달린 타원형 물체를 목격했다. 그 물체는 땅 위에 불탄 자국 4개를 남기며 급상승했다. 이틀 후 거의 유사한 물체가 240km 떨어진 뉴멕시코의 라마드라에서 목격됐고, 원조 UFO 헌터인 하이닉 박사와 그의 제자 테드 필립스가 2 사례를 모두 조사했다.
I did start out as a skeptic, and I was kind of a convert after Socorro, New Mexico. There were 4 imprints in the ground where the landing legs had gone in, and some small, what appeared to be footprints. And this is truly one of the good cases, the very good cases.
We have looked at the work of Ted Phillips for years. We have respected what he's done. He's a person that, before it was popular, went out and started collecting evidence of landings of UFOs, what he called landing trace effects. This is physical evidence that something's going on.
As a UFO hunter, my job really is simply to gather the hard evidence to support UFO sightings. Over the past 36 years, I've been involved with or personally investigated somewhere around 600 cases.
자국이 난 증거의 수량을 놓고 봤을 때 뉴멕시코 소코로 사건은 하이닉 등 다수 UFO 헌터들에게 전환점이 되었다.
Alan talked about this case. He told me later that he began to see that something, in fact, was taking place because this was a daylight sighting by a police officer with other witnesses and the finding of physical traces at the landing site. So this is why then 4 years later, he suggested to me to specialize in landing cases, especially with physical evidence, for the simple reason that you can look at 1 million lights in the sky and it produces really nothing except 1 million reports of visual observation.
Dr. Hynek always suggested that people specialize. Ted listened, and he did specialize, and that's why he became so well known for trace effect investigations.
오늘날까지 소코로 착륙 사건은 설명되지 않은 채 정보 파일에 담겨 있다. 필립스는 의미 있다고 생각되는 사건들을 보관해 놓는다.
Significant case would be one in which we have multiple witnesses, good seeing conditions, close range, plenty of time for the individuals to figure out what they're looking at, and resulting physical residue of some kind. The object is at that site and it generates physical traces on the plants, on the soil, tree damage. It can go several ways.
Some of the cases he's investigated couldn't have been done in normal ways. You couldn't have faked it, for instance. It had to be something unusual, unconventional. It flew in, landed, it actually changed the environment, and then it left.
I believe that we're dealing with constructed devices under some kind of intelligent control. And that's based on the data, the facts, period.
필립스가 지상에서 활동하는 반면 바다를 조사하는 UFO 헌터도 있다. 지구의 약 70%를 물이 덮고 있다는 점을 고려할 때 바다는 UFO 연구에 있어 중요한 장소다. 폴 스토닐은 10여 년 동안 UFO 목격 사건을 기술하고 있는 소련의 기밀 해제 문서를 조사해왔다.
When the Soviet Union started disintegrating, I decided to form a so-called Russian UFO Research Center to be a bridge between Soviet ufologists and their American counterparts. The Soviets knew that there were objects and phenomena that they could not explain, grasp, or capture. So they wanted to study it. Some of the most interesting cases took place in 1960s and 70s when Soviet submarine commanders would encounter gigantic objects chasing them to deep waters. Huge objects would ascend from the ocean. Cigar-shaped objects would hover over Soviet ships, observe, move about at great speeds.
스토닐의 전문 분야는 소위 USO라는 것에 관한 목격 사례다.
A USO is unidentified submersible object. A UFO is unidentified flying object. The Soviet military intelligence, and especially naval intelligence, had been very much interested in the USOs simply because they wanted to assess the threat presented. They had examples, even back in 1982, for example, in Lake Baikal, when local commanders tried to capture one of the so-called gigantic swimmers. Machinery was destroyed, people died, human beings died while trying to capture the unknown phenomena. And the Soviet High Command decided not to lose any more people. There was nothing they could do about the so-called observers. It's not easy to study the UFO and USO phenomena as it pertains to the Soviet Union and Russia. Secrecy has always been in fashion, whether in Russia or the Soviet Union. I truly believe that whatever is hidden in the files is fascinating to an extent that when it comes available, if it ever does, it would change the course of history of our planet.
일부가 기록과 문서를 찾아다니는 반면 어떤 UFO 헌터들은 물리적 상황 너머의 세계를 탐구한다.
A lot of people that investigate UFOs eventually broaden their horizons, so to say. They get into metaphysics as well. I think they do that because they didn't get all the answers they wanted. And they feel that there's something bigger out there than the physical science that we've been dealing with.
존 릭시모어는 그런 UFO 헌터 중 한 명이다. 1990년대 전반에 걸쳐 그는 미스터리 서클 등 UFO와 관련된 현상을 조사하며 지구를 여행했다.
A fresh one definitely is a physiological experience. It's something that makes your hair stand up. When you're walking in one, it's very interesting to note that normally the center of the vortex that formed it is not necessarily the center of the image, the glyph. it's off-center. If you walk with the lie of the plants, you get the feeling that you're walking downhill. You can get going too fast. That's the sensation you get. When you turn around and walk against the lie of the plants, you have the exact opposite sensation. You become breathless. It feels like you're walking uphill. Some people react so dramatically to them that they begin to get nauseous as they approach them.
UFO 헌터 루벤 유리한테도 무호가 맞닥뜨렸던 생리적인 효과를 직접 경험했다.
Over the years that I've had the opportunity to walk into crop circles, I noticed from a number of other people who are also in the formation sharing their bodily sensations, some of them feeling very dehydrated, some feeling nauseated. Sometimes that has happened to me too, where I feel nausea. It's a sense that there's some sort of sensation that's going on with you. I'm a UFO hunter because I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on this planet. I want to know how it connects, how it affects us, and I want to solve the mystery. And through that, I'll do whatever it takes to get there. And that's why it's important for me to continue on this hunt for the truth.
결정적인 순간, 당신의 비즈니스가 멈춘다면 신도리코 non-stop 솔루션으로 비즈니스는 멈추지 않는다.
Technology Spirit, Shindorico.
악몽을 꾸고 낯선 이미지가 되풀이되고 기억이 사라져버리는 것은 UFO 헌터들에 의하면 외계인 유괴의 조짐들이다. 그러나 회의론자들은 대개 근대 과학으로 이런 경험을 설명할 수 있다고 말한다. UFO 헌터들은 주로 목격자의 설명을 토대로 외계인 유괴로 추정되는 사례에 대해 조사한다. 증거가 남아있는 경우도 있긴 하지만 유괴된 사람은 어떻게 유괴됐는지 기억을 못한다. 그러한 점에서 UFO 헌터들은 바바라 램 같은 전문 최면 수사를 통해 신체 외부가 아닌 그 안쪽을 들여다본다. 램은 최면 역행 기술을 이용해 대상자가 경험을 회상하고 이해할 수 있도록 돕는다.
Well, hypnotic regression is really a very simple thing to achieve. It's leading somebody into a nice state of deep relaxation. And in that state of deep relaxation, with the attention focused entirely on the inside, the person is asked to go back to the source of whatever the subject is that they're interested in.
The use of regressive hypnosis in the induction part of this mystery is a very necessary thing to do. It's a useful tool. If it's done correctly, it's very valuable. You have to know more about the human psyche to do that. Barbara Lamb was one of those people.
I have regressed 480 different individuals. A person typically will come to me for hypnotic regression because they have a strong clue, or maybe several clues, that something very unusual has happened to them.
최면 상태에서 유괴됐던 사람들은 외계인과 무서웠다고 묘사한다.
There's a tremendous variety of experiences that people have with extraterrestrial beings. Those beings tend to do medical experiments on people, taking tissue samples, fluid samples, maybe taking hair samples, and in many cases they actually insert implants into the person who's having this experience.
물질 이식의 물리적 증거가 사람 몸속에 존재할까? UFO 헌터 로저 리어 박사는 심리적 세계에서 한 단계 더 나아가 사람 몸에서 추출한 이 물질을 연구한다.
I am a UFO hunter, and my job is to pursue research in this very tiny slice of a very strange phenomena. I've been a practicing podiatric surgeon for 41 years. I have performed research in a number of medical fields, and now I've applied my skills and science to the alien abduction physical evidence phenomena. And one of the prime examples of this is the Tim Cullen story.
1978년 5월 30일 팀 컬린과 그의 아내는 콜로라도 59번 도로를 타고 가다가 UFO로 추정되는 것과 맞닥뜨렸다. 부부는 몇 분간만 지쳤다고 기억하지만 사실 예상보다 1시간 늦게 집에 도착했다. 20년 후 엑스레이를 통해 팀의 팔에서 낯선 금속 조각이 발견되자 그는 1978년의 봄날 밤을 회상했다.
First contact was just telling me who he was and that he thought he might be associated with the abduction phenomena and that he had a metallic object in his arm. So we had him send the x-rays and we looked and certainly there was a foreign body there which appeared to be metallic.
지금 보이는 장면은 2000년 2월 15일 실시된 실제 수술 장면이다. 박사는 그의 팔에서 이물질을 제거하는 수술을 집도했다. 물질이 삽입되며 발생한 상처는 없었지만 6mm의 금속 물질이 피부 아래에서 발견되었다.
Once the object was removed, we find two very surprising things. One is that there's absolutely no inflammatory response by the body to the object, which is quote unquote impossible. And number two, we find that there's a large number of nerve cells there that really don't belong in that particular area. And these nerve cells are called proprioceptors.
자기 감수체는 신경 끝쪽에 살아있는 신경 다발로 손과 발에 주로 위치하여 촉각, 온도, 압력에 반응한다. 그런데 이 물질이 사람 몸속에서 어떻게 감수체와 연결됐는지 의학적으로 설명할 수 없다.
When we look at what happens in the body after the object goes in, the body does not like foreign things inside, so it reacts to it. Now, if it's, let's say, lead from a pencil or something like that, we get an immediate inflammatory reaction. But when we look at these things, there's nothing. Zip. Zero. So just from that alone, you can say these are drastically different than any kind of typical foreign body that we get inside. I believe that these nerve cells are sort of the plug where this thing is plugged in at, and it's using neural energy from the body to operate. On one case, not Tim's, but on another case, we fortunately had a piece of equipment which was a radio frequency detector, and we actually detected two oscillating frequencies that were being emitted from the object. When they are removed, they don't do anything. So obviously, plugging them in somewhere into the body gives them some kind of energy that makes them do whatever it is they do.
리어 박사는 이런 수술을 10회 이상 집도했다. 각 수술마다 신체에서 이물질이 적출되었는데 모두 개인 보관소에 안전하게 보관되어 있다. 박사가 수집한 증거는 과학적인 논리에 도전하는 듯하다.
We find that these objects contain metals which are not from this earth. The abundant amount of physical evidence available leads me to believe that this planet is being visited by intelligences from somewhere else. That is why I'm a UFO hunter.
UFO 헌터들이 수집한 확고한 증거의 정당성을 입증하는 일은 가공물을 발견하는 것만큼 중요하다. 과학을 통해 입증하든 형이상학, 증거자료, 이미지를 통해 입증하든 간에 UFO 헌터들은 거짓 증거를 제시하여 신뢰를 위험에 빠뜨리는 일은 하지 않는다. 많은 경우 UFO가 필름이나 비디오에 포착되는 까닭에 광학물리 박사 브루스 매커비는 이미지의 유효성을 입증하는 일에 뛰어들었다.
I'm a UFO hunter. My job is to separate the wheat from the chaff. For example, in the photographic cases, to be able to separate the cases which are mistakes or outright hoaxes from the cases which can't be explained.
매커비 박사는 지난 25년 동안 36개의 전문 저술과 100개 이상의 UFO 연구 논문을 발표했다.
I've known Bruce for over 30 years. I find that he is persistent, he is consistent, he is scientific, and he doesn't let opinions come in so much as science. In my opinion, Dr. Bruce Maccabee is indeed a true UFO hunter.
Dr. Maccabee uses computer analysis systems to actually feed in and analyze each frame of a video, for instance, or to feed in a photograph. As a result, he has done investigations that stand the test of time.
I have done not only photographic research, but also historical research into the subject of UFOs.
매커비 박사는 사진만으론 전체를 알 수가 없다고 확신하고 미 정부가 결정적인 정보를 감춰두고 있다고 믿는다.
I was one of the first people to try beating down the doors of the government by getting information out about the FBI.
J. Edgar Hoover himself says it is not now, nor was it ever was, the role of the FBI to be involved in UFO investigations. Dr. Bruce Maccabee filed a Freedom of Information Act request. This is back in the 70s. Got 1,600 pages of material.
When I got it and read through the documents, I could see that there was information in the FBI file that was nowhere else, including comments by Air Force people that were stored in the FBI file that you can't find in the Air Force file.
UFO 헌터 릭 레드퍼는 세계 전역에서 구한 수천 개의 정보 자료들을 조사하여 감춰진 UFO 관련 정보를 찾고 있다.
My background is largely looking at things from an official level, trying to determine what has been learned about the subject, what has been uncovered by, for example, the British military, the British Royal Air Force, the Ministry of Defence, and over here, the Central Intelligence Agency, FBI, National Security Agency. What drives me to investigate UFOs is basically, I think that at an official restricted level, there are people who know the truth about this particular subject. And I feel that if something so important and potentially mind-blowing and life-changing as visitors from another world actually coming here, I think that all of us have a right to know this. Based on my research, I'm convinced that UFOs are real, they're coming from somewhere else, and they're visiting us. And that's why I became a UFO researcher.
한 정부 관리가 뭔가 숨기고 있음을 인정했다. 영국 국방부에서 근무하던 닉 포프가 정부 내에서 진행되고 있던 UFO 조사 작업에 대해 공개했을 때 비밀의 벽에 금이 가기 시작했다.
We got into it in 1950 on the basis of the fact that we were seeing UFO sightings in our country and that there was considerable public and media interest from senior establishment figures. Pay attention, listen up, this is going on. We believe that the UFO phenomenon is real.
The significance of an MOD employee actually coming out with a statement that they believe some UFOs are alien spacecraft, I think, is to really get across to the media and the public that these things are taken seriously at an official level and that there are people investigating these things.
전 항공우주 기술자이자 제 앨런 하이닝의 동료인 로버트 우드 박사는 외계 존재의 방문을 주장하는 1950년대 자료들을 분석한다. 논쟁의 여지가 있는 이 자료들로 인해 UFO 헌터들은 자료 입증이라는 상당히 까다로운 과제를 안게 되었다.
When you attempt to determine a question document's validity, you approach this in an orderly manner. If you have an original, you do the things you can do, like look at the paper. If you don't, then you look at the shape of the letters, and you go into the printing subtleties.
Dr. Woods is one of the leading people in this field, and the work he does in the forensic examination of documentation, I'd say he's probably the leading person.
The documents that I've been exposed to include 4,000 pages of mostly unclassified material, somebody cleaning out his file drawer who used to work in some intelligence agency. But a lot of them, maybe 500 or to 1,000 of the pages are top secret.
일부 1급 기밀 파일은 MJ-12 조직을 설명하고 있는데 트루먼이 외계인에 대한 비밀을 유지하기 위해 설립했다고 추정되는 이 조직에 관한 문서가 우드 박사 손에 들어왔다.
I have taken those to a typewriter expert and have determined that they were typed on an Underwood 1940 typewriter, so it's consistent.
타자기 모델, 종이, 잉크 내용물 등을 분석한 결과 박사는 서류가 진짜이고 UFO 은폐 공작의 진실이 담겨 있다고 믿는다.
The large number of documents that I've been able to accumulate very clearly show that we have a covert program to keep from the public the recovery of a large number of crashes that include the recovery of extraterrestrials.
Dr. Wood is definitely a UFO hunter, a good UFO hunter.
UFO 헌터들은 세간의 이목을 끌고 있는데도 그들 존재가 진지하게 취급되지 않는 탓에 홍보에 어려움을 겪는다. 그래서 UFO 조사와 관련해 모범을 세우기 위해 뮤폰이 나섰다. 콜로라도주 덴버에 자리하고 있는 상호 UFO 네트워크는 과학적으로 UFO 연구를 실시하는 조직 중 세계 최대 규모를 자랑한다. 그들은 철저한 UFO 조사 작업에 참여하길 바라는 사람들을 훈련시킨다.
The job of the investigator is not to express an opinion, not to influence witnesses, but basically to keep his mouth shut, listen to what they have to tell him, and put that together in some kind of meaningful form. And you have to have some training to be able to approach the subject in the right way.
How are you going to go about doing the investigation?
The MUFON Field Investigator Training Program trains members of MUFON who wish to volunteer to become field investigators for the organization.
그녀는 뮤폰의 현장 조사자 훈련 프로그램 책임자로 미 전역에서 활동하는 1000여 명의 UFO 헌터들을 훈련하는 과정을 감독한다.
We currently have no formal government-sponsored organization that does this kind of work. And people feel that there is a real need for this kind of work to be done.
Yeah, that's a good point.
뮤폰 프로그램에서 교사로 활약하는 피터 제르마야는 그만둘 확률이 높은 사람, 진심으로 열심인 사람 등 출연해야 할 사람을 구분할 정도로 노련하다.
My goal for teaching others to become certified is to try to get a quality investigator out there doing the work. I don't want to see true believers out there that every little thing that happens is a definite UFO. I don't want to see that happen. If they follow the investigator's manual and do the research the way they should, the unknowns will show up and the other cases will fall by the wayside. My goal is to keep good quality investigators out in the field. You need to use your Bible when you're doing your investigation because this is where all the information is.
그들에겐 뮤폰 현장 조사자의 입문서가 성경이다. 뮤폰 현장 조사자들은 UFO 사건을 취급할 때 하이닉과 맥도널드 박사 같은 원조 UFO 헌터들의 전통을 따른다. 뮤폰은 증거 자료를 간편하게 분리할 수 있도록 일련의 양식을 만들었고 작업 시 이용할 수 있는 현장 조사자 장비함도 만들었다. 테이프 녹음기, 나침반, 지도, 카메라가 여기에 들어간다. 뮤폰의 책임자인 존은 조직을 지속적으로 발전시키기 위해 새 조사자가 현장에 입문할 때 일정 정도의 신뢰성을 유지해야 한다는 원칙을 고수한다.
We require all field investigators to study that and to take an exam to show they have been through it and they understand the way of doing things. This doesn't mean we limit how much they do in the field. What it means is we give them some criteria so when we get done, everybody's talking the same language.
And then have them put it in writing.
훈련 과정이 끝나면 UFO 헌터들은 현장으로 떠난다.
Basically what happens is you'll get a report. First thing I do is call the witness, set up a meeting. I like to go to their place, I like to talk to them face to face, not so much on the phone.
We'll go out to the field with them, just if they have any photographic evidence, like camcorders or still pictures or any of that, we take that under account. By the end, our main goal is to produce a summary, a report, which then goes to the National MUFON headquarters.
해마다 뮤폰은 1000건이 넘는 사례를 조사하지만 그 중에서 20%는 설명 불가능한 목록으로 분류된다.
We have some 300 consultants and research specialists in every possible field of endeavor that are able to look at this material. Those are scientists. And we go everything from astrophysics to religion. Back in the days when Dr. Hynek was doing this, he had an invisible college. These were people that were scientists that didn't want anybody to know they were doing it, but they would help him. Today we have a visible college that people are saying, I don't care, I'm going to look into it because I am a scientist. And that's truly what science is all about.
로스앤젤레스에서 열리는 미 국립 UFO 회의 같은 UFO 총회에선 각종 정보에 관해 논의한다.
I do believe UFO hunters come to conferences to learn more. They're looking for answers to what maybe they've seen, maybe they've heard about, or maybe they're just curious about. So I believe that some of the attendees are UFO hunters. They're seeking out the truth for themselves.
Symposiums, conferences, gatherings are always very important. I like to add that it's more the networking that's very important. It's important to hear what's the latest from the different researchers that are out there. But there's a lot behind the scenes, and these conferences provide the avenue for people to get together and to share notes, to share what's going on. And believe me, I've learned more from behind the scenes many times.
UFO를 연구하는 이유는 천차만별이더라도 이 헌터들의 목표는 한 가지다.
I think it's definitely my job to tell the truth. And
what is the truth?
That is the prime goal, to find out what the truth is behind this.
I think we are mature enough now to take whatever the truth might be.
The goal is to get the truth out there. Whatever it takes to do that, you've got to do it.
UFO 헌터들은 조사에 착수할 때마다 그들 앞에 놓인 사건은 강력하고 증거는 반박 불가능하다고 느낀다. 허블 우주망원경 같은 신기술을 통해 어딘가 있을 지구 같은 별의 존재를 찾을 수 있게 되자 인류는 우주의 신비가 풀릴지도 모른다는 사실에 경탄하고 있다. 하지만 UFO 헌터들에 의하면 아직 풀리지 않은 신비가 한 가지 남아있다.
These people, their testimony could send a guy to the electric chair. And yet they report a UFO and they're no longer credible. And that's a double standard in this country that I simply can't understand.
When someone says to me, there's no physical evidence, I look at them with a dismayed look and would tell them that I'm very, very sorry for them. And they would say, why? And I would say, because you're so misinformed.
The evidence is overwhelming in the form of large-scale scientific studies, physical trace cases, multiple witness radar visual sightings, abduction cases. There's an enormous amount of data, and what I find is that the people who don't agree with me are people who haven't studied that data.
I think we have seen through the UFO mystery the glimpse of the future. We're seeing devices in our atmosphere that operate in ways that we can't and haven't been able to operate. If we could harness any one of these, it'll change the future of humanity. And that's really why I'm in it. That's why I'm a UFO hunter.